Welcome to the Voices of the Goddess podcast. We believe that there is a goddess inside each and every one of us. When we use our voice to share that goddess, we support and uplift each other. Join us each week as we interview women to receive the message of their goddess within. Good morning, everybody. Hi, I'm Julietta, the magical PT, joined here this morning with my co-host, Allyson, our transformational lifestyle coach. Join us each week as we interview amazing women in the community to share their insights on how they use their tools to achieve their desires. And today we are joined by Sandy Pearce, the owner of OsteoStrong. Welcome, Sandy.
Yay. Welcome, Sandy.
Hello. Thank you for having me, ladies. It's a pleasure to be here with you too. It's been an exciting journey since I've met you both. So
I know.
Thank you for having me. Sorry to hold my mic up, but apparently it's having issues if I don't hold it up.
All good. So, how long have we known you now? How long has it been? 3 months? 4 months? Not very long.
Not very long. I would say I met Julietta first about 4 months ago.
Okay.
4 months ago, 5 months ago. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about OsteoStrong and what that's all about.
Yes, awesome. Thank you. So I am a nurse practitioner, and I was with a background in critical care medicine and gerontology, and I was always looking for a way to enhance my patients' well-being, and I ran into OsteoStrong. So OsteoStrong is a place where, as you're getting older, you start to notice that your body is just not functioning the same way.
No, that doesn't happen, does it?
No, right? It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen if you're an OsteoStrong, let me tell you that.
Right.
So, your back just doesn't feel the same. Your joints don't feel the same. You start to get weaker muscles, something called sarcopenia. And it happens to all of us with age, no matter what. Aging does not discriminate, males and females. So here at OsteoStrong, we actually help to change all of that. We have these really cool specialized robotic devices that give you instant biofeedback, and they help you to develop bone tissue and muscle tissue. So we're not a gym. We are not a physical therapist. We're not a chiropractor, but we actually complement all those disciplines really well because we help people age better. And we really help work with everybody from, I would say, our youngest person here is 17 years old, and our oldest is 89 years old.
Nice.
Wow.
The whole spectrum.
Okay,
You've been right, Allyson?
So
Oh no, we've lost Allyson.
Oh, she froze.
Well, anyway, I've been to OsteoStrong, and you've got a really great setup there, and super cool work that you're doing. So there she's unfrozen. She's back.
Hello.
So as you know, the format of our show is we have 4 questions that we ask all of our guests.
Okay.
And are you ready, Sandy?
I hope I'm ready.
So our first question is, what is your superpower, or what would you choose your superpower to be?
So I think it's a toss between 2. So grit and determination. I don't know if those are superpowers.
Of course they are.
Okay, good. When I think of grit, I think of girls raised in the South. It's a little saying that we have in the South. I just moved here from Charlotte, North Carolina, so that grit is everywhere up there. But also, to me, it means a lot of determination. And so I would say determination. I set a goal, and I visualize myself completing that goal, and when I sit in visualization mode or in my meditation mode, I can feel myself experiencing that goal. So all of my senses are activated. I can touch it, I can smell it, I can taste it, and then it feels so amazing when I'm done with that visualization that I am just determined to get that feeling again. And I keep, fighting, keep working hard until that goal is accomplished. So determination or grit,
I,
I'm not sure which one.
I think that's awesome. And I'm curious, do you do that visualization meditation like every day?
Not every day for the same goal.
Okay.
Probably it depends on the goal. So if it's I typically have 1 year, 3 year, and 5 year goals,
Mm-hmm.
and then daily goals. Of course, those are my minor goals. I would say for my daily goals, I just wake up in the morning and I visualize what I'm doing. That's a very quick thing. I meditate mostly for my 1 and 3 and 5 year goals,
Mm-hmm.
and I probably do that about once a week.
Okay.
Once a week is when I get that sense of I've achieved it, I'm here, and this is what it feels like to experience that goal.
That's awesome. I love it. I meditate every day, so I'm right there with you.
It's
Me
so
too.
yes, meditation is so important. You guys would probably laugh at the way I meditate though.
Hey, this is one thing that like people think that there's a right way to meditate, and there isn't one right way. Like everybody gets to choose the way that feels right for them, that resonates with them. Because if you're doing somebody else's form of meditation, like it's not gonna be as effective for you. So you have to like, there's so many different ways to meditate out there. Like you pick what's right for you and what feels good for you, and that's the right way to meditate.
Right.
You know?
There's no one way, and you don't always have to do it the same way every day. That's the beauty of it.
Exactly. I have like a cajillion different ways.
I do too. I do too, for sure.
And it just is, how do I feel that day? What feels right for me that day? And, sometimes it is, I sit cross-legged on the floor and just focus on my breathing. And other days I'm, doing a guided meditation. And, sometimes I'm using binaural beats, with frequencies to change the brainwave. So there's so many different ways to do it. So
Never use that. You're gonna have to enlighten me with that one day.
yeah, we'll touch base on that. But like I use an app called Insight Timer that
Love
has
it. My favorite app.
it's got like 70,000 free meditations on it. Plus it has courses, and it's unbelievable. So
Plus you can search by, like, let's say you only have 5 minutes. You can search by time you have, and then you can search by, like, say, subject. Like you said, you do a lot of visualization, Sandy, for your goals. You can search by goal setting, visualizations, relaxation, healing, like that Insight Timer app's phenomenal. I love it.
What's the name of it? I gotta write it down.
Insight Timer. And we'll put that in the show notes when we're done.
I'm always learning when I'm with you ladies, by the way.
Hey, that's what this whole thing is about. All of us learning from each other.
I love
So
it.
I have to segue for a moment on the meditation bit, which kind of leads us back to what Sandy does. Okay. So I watched a really amazing documentary last night called The Longevity Film. It's on Amazon Prime. And they talk about, how important meditation is to our longevity. But then they also talk about, and I'm going to tie this in for a second, Sandy, but you got to give me a minute here. They also talk about the importance of like constant movement, because it's so good for our bones and it's good for our overall well-being. So help our audience understand how what you do there, because when you go to, first of all, if you've never heard of OsteoStrong or you've never been, I highly recommend you contact Sandy and go check it out. She will show you around. It is a free consultation, right? Yes, or am I wrong in that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I thought was so cool is these people so it's about all the blue zones in the world. There's 5 of them where the people are known to live, close to 100, over 100. And they talk about the whole thing that they're constantly in movement, which we don't get that here. We sit most of the time. So explain to our audience how what you do there in a very short period of time probably has similar effect to what they're talking about with these people that are in constant movement. Am I right?
Yes, it all has to do with movement and loading and impact.
Right.
Although here at OsteoStrong, we don't have any impact. We emulate impact. So our bodies are full of these amazing adaptive responses, right? Our brain is really our command center. So
Mhm.
when your brain experiences a change in its environment, it's going to adapt, right? For
Mhm.
example, one of the things that your brain adapts to is your exposure to light. So when you go out to bright light,
Mhm.
your pupils constrict.
Right.
That's a form of adaptive response. When you are hot, you sweat. When you're cold, you shiver. So your body is full of these. One of the ways that your body adapts to heavy loading, or when your bones or muscles are exposed to heavy weights or
Mhm.
impact, your brain says, wait a minute, I have to adapt, because if I don't adapt, Allison or Julietta are going to get hurt. So,
Mhm.
how does your body adapt? Your body adapts by producing more healthy bone and muscle tissue.
Hmm.
It's actually a principle from the 1800s. So, the science is nothing new.
Wow.
We've known this for hundreds of years, that when your bones and muscles are exposed to these loads, that's when your brain adapts and helps you grow. And so, yes, we have so many people that come in here and they say, listen, what can your therapy possibly do to me? I'm
Mhm.
active, I run, I swim, I do
Mhm.
Pilates, I do yoga, I eat well, but I'm still losing bone. So, how could you possibly help us? And
Mhm.
it's very simple. We're just not loading our bodies with enough force or enough weight to stimulate that bone growth. So, just
Mhm.
as an example, to develop bone in the hip, you need to apply 4.2 multiples of your body weight. So I don't know how much you ladies weigh, but let's say you weigh 100 pounds. You
Mhm.
would have to, we don't say that, right? Especially after the holidays and after the COVID 15 or 20 for me. Um, but
Sure.
yeah, so if you weigh 100 pounds, you would have to load your body with 420 pounds just to develop bone in the hip. So it's a
Wow.
significant amount of force, right? And then, of course, nutrition is so important. So, yes, a body in motion will continue to grow. We are stimulating the body here, challenging the environment that you're constantly living in, and helping you develop more tissue.
That's awesome. And I totally went sidetracked. Sorry, guys. But
I know you got to get through. We only went through one question so far. We got to get back on track
I just
here.
find it so fascinating what she does there. So, okay, we'll go on. Sorry.
So the next question is, what is the book that has greatly influenced your life?
Oh gosh, that's a difficult one. I
Picking
would,
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know,
pick
right?
one.
Um, I it's one that I actually read in the last year. It's called "Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life" by
Yes.
Dyer. Um, and I say that because, and it's not an easy book to read. I would say it's kind of confusing at times, but being in critical care and in my time in critical care, I noticed that a lot of people, we're talking like 15 years ago, okay, so the people that had the positive attitudes versus negative attitudes or closed off, the people that were opened and positive, they fared better. Now, I'm not saying that they all survived whatever ailment they were going through, but they had a better quality, whether it was at the end of their life or something that helped them transition to out of that disease process. But they fared better, and I started noticing these things. Like, okay, these people are giving themselves positive feedback, positive talk. They're surrounded with love. They fared better than the ones
Mhm.
that didn't.
Mhm.
And so I definitely started noticing a correlation between what we say to ourselves and what
Mhm.
happens. And so I started looking into, the power of the mind, and how powerful our self talk is, how
Mhm.
powerful our thoughts are, and how really we are just we're magnets, and whatever we put out is what we're going to attract. So that book, I read it recently. I hadn't read it until probably I think last February, actually a year ago, and it kind of helped put everything together. And it just clicked. It was like, oh, this is why we're magnets, and whatever we think and we project out, we are going to attract onto ourselves. So that's one of the things actually I say here a lot. Have you guys watched the movie Boss Baby?
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh my gosh, Allyson, you have to watch it. Okay, I have a young kid, so we watch it all the time. Yeah. But it's funny because he has these cute little quotes, and one of the quotes he has is whether you think you can or you can't, you'll always be right. And that's a quote by somebody else, but he used it in that movie, which I thought was so perfect because here's a kids movie telling children, listen, your mind is powerful, whether you think you can do something or not, you're always going to be right. And so we use that here at OsteoStrong a lot. Sometimes when I have members come in to our studio and they're just frazzled and they're in a hurry, I'm like, okay, stop, because you're not going to get out of the therapy what you deserve. And so we actually pause for a few minutes. And I have a lot of members that can testify to that. Have them pause and connect with themselves and visualize their tissues growing and change the way they're thinking. And then they're allowed to do their therapy sessions. So, yeah, we
cool.
follow that motto
That's
here a lot.
very cool. Very cool.
Every time that you said that we're magnets, I want to say we're magic. And like our thoughts, what are our thoughts? Our thoughts are words. And how do we make words? We spell them. So like, there's magic spells. Words are magic. We spell them. Like, yeah. So that's
like that.
That's how the magical PT looks at it.
Well, and I think right now in everything that we're going through, because, those of you that are listening, if you're listening to this, hopefully in just a few months, we're out of this chaos and craziness. But right now, I think, your mindset is like critically important. Like I was thinking about that last night watching this film. They were talking about how community is so important to your longevity. And I thought, how many people are going to suffer from this time period where we had so little community? Like, it's really, I just think, and we've talked about, Julietta and I've talked about this also with like Pamela and stuff. And, I think the repercussions of this 10 years from now are going to be sad, actually. But anyways.
Can we go on to the next question?
Go.
So what is your favorite, because I know you have many of them, but what is your favorite self-care practice?
A hot bath with salts and scented oils, and yeah, that's my escape. I just draw a really hot bath, and I put some salts in there, and I I like Himalayan. I have a Himalayan salt lamp in my bathroom.
Yes.
Yes.
Preach! I'm talking to the woman that has like
I have 20 of them.
I think I have 5 of them on in my little office here alone.
They're really great. And I'll put some actual salt in the water itself. Typically with lavender if I need to relax. Recently I bought some eucalyptus. So I used that because I needed to open up my pores and improve my circulation. And I'll do that for a while. And that's where I do a lot of my visualization. It's almost like it deprives me of a lot of my senses. So I'm able to focus onto the senses that I want to focus on. So I shut everything down. I turn off the light too, and I really can then.
You're making like your own sensory deprivation tank.
Yes.
I've recently started going and floating, and such a cool experience.
Float tanks are amazing. I love them so much that I'm thinking of opening up or adding something to our practice. So we'll see how that develops. But yes, float tanks are the best thing I've ever done. It completely, if you shut the capsule, now you can do it without shutting it off, but it's sort of like what a hot bath in my dark Himalayan lamp lit room does for me.
Yeah. See, I'm like one of those people, like I wish I could enjoy a bath, but as a tall girl, like I need to get an extra long, super deep tub, which I don't have room for in my house. But if I'm in a bathtub, there's always too much of me that's outside of the water, so I can't like enjoy it that same way. So I'm so appreciative that I'm tall, but for that I'm like jealous of short girls because you guys can enjoy a bath so much better. But that's cool how you can kind of make yours kind of like the simulating the float tank. So that's cool.
And and I don't just do it at any particular. I do it all day. Like I could, if I just need a break, my husband and my family knows, okay, mommy's going to the bathroom for a bath. Everybody needs to be quiet. Mommy needs some self.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the beauty of any self care. It doesn't have to be scheduled. It doesn't have to be, on a particular day. It could just be I mean, literally, sometimes I'm just in there for 10 minutes. And I'm like, okay, I just need 10 minutes. This is what I'm going to do.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I mean, we're so conditioned to you have to make an appointment or to go to the spa or do whatever it is that you want to do for your self care. But really, we can make accommodations at home or in the office and do them whenever at whatever time we need to.
Perfect.
Love it.
All right. We have one more question that, before we started this, we did some interviewing of some women and finding out what's important to them. And so one of the things that they all were concerned with is accountability. So how do you create accountability in your life?
So I think it starts with that goal setting. And like I said, 1, 3, and 5 are my 3 magical numbers. And checking off the steps that it took to get there or the steps that I'm taking to get there. Because another thing that I didn't talk about with the goal setting is you got to work backwards almost. So you got your goal, but okay, so let's say, your goal is to, I don't have a family in 5 years. Okay, so how do I get there and work your way backwards? And then working your way backwards, you're making checklists. I do a lot of lists. My husband makes fun of me because I have list of lists of lists. So I do a lot of lists and I check off a lot of the things on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a yearly basis, so that I can see where I am in my progression of that goal. So lists, I would say lists. That's how I check. That's how I keep myself accountable is checking off those list items.
That's funny.
Awesome.
You said your husband makes fun of you because you always have lists. So my husband makes fun of me because I'm always on my computer or my laptop or something. And he literally says to me, "Are you going to have clickety clack time?" That's what he calls it. My clickety clack time. Yeah. And the kids even know. The kid, if I'm super busy, you know how you said when your husband takes the kids and say, "Leave mom alone, she's going to take a bath." My husband will be like, "Leave your mother alone, she's going for clickety clack time." I'm like, "That's right."
I love that. So, okay, for our wrap up, we get to talk about what are our takeaways from today's talk. So you want to go first, Allyson?
Okay, so apparently both of you have now talked about these float tanks or whatever they are, though I am a huge claustrophobic person. I couldn't close it, but I feel like I need to try one of those for sure because now you're both talking about it. So
and just I'm also mildly claustrophobic, Allyson, and that was my first fear going in.
Mhm.
And so it's actually a friend of mine who has a tank, and so she put just a little stopper to keep the door just cracked slightly so I could see the light where the door was on my first time. And but actually once I was settled in, I had no feelings of claustrophobia at all. And the door it's not like you're locked in there or anything. You can push the door open with one finger and get out if you need to. So don't let that claustrophobia thing stop you. It's
Okay.
You're gonna love it.
I feel like I would get antsy.
And some people do, and
Hey, let's go.
but you meditate, so you're gonna do awesome in there. Just do it.
Okay.
So my takeaway is actually very early on when you were talking about when you're meditating and drawing in all of the senses. And it's something that I talk about a lot, and I'm aware of it in my everyday life, but I don't know that I always draw that in during my meditation. So you know what I'm doing tomorrow when I meditate.
And they talk about that, and I'm sure that's, Sandy, why you do that. They talk about how important, especially when you're visualizing your goals, that you really need to feel it, smell it, taste it, everything, and that even makes it more effective, I guess is the best way to say it.
Yeah, and knowing that it's already done.
Right.
It's just you need the time to get there, but it's done.
Right. You just haven't gotten there yet. Yeah.
And your goal is what your life is going to be like, or what you want to experience is already there.
Right.
It's just going to take you. So having that affirmation of, yeah, it's there, or I'm healthy and I just need to get to that place, but I'm already healthy. That's very important. So, praying or meditating or visualizing with the sense of it's already happened. To me, that's one of the most important aspects of that, setting your goals.
Okay, that totally changed my meditating for tomorrow too. Visualizing.
What's your takeaway, Sandy?
I'm really excited about this app that you guys are talking about, the meditation app. I hadn't heard of that. So I am actually going to look into it and see if I can change the way that I meditate. Maybe, spice it up a little bit. I don't typically use, I don't do aided meditation. I do it on my own. So I'm excited to use something like that. But also, I love being around you ladies. The energy around you guys is pretty amazing. And even though we're on video, I can hear somebody's music. I can see the bright light. It's Julietta's music. I love it. I
was thinking about that. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to turn it down. But
I think it's great. I think it should be higher. It's kind of like I can barely hear it. It grabs my attention every once in a while. I love it. But this is something great that you guys are doing, and I appreciate being a part of it. I remember when you first were talking about it. I'm excited that I was able to contribute a little bit to this awesome work that you do.
Oh, you contribute more than a little bit. Hey, just want to acknowledge this comment from Nico that being in a dark room for 1 month will reset your endocrine system and all senses, like being in the womb. Like,
wow.
And it's funny, I was just having a conversation with someone about I guess there is like a place, I mean, maybe there's more than one place, but they were telling me about this place in Thailand where you can go, kind of like how they have silent retreats, they have dark retreats. And I'm like, I need to investigate further. I haven't had time to do that yet, but that sounds like totally cool to me. So.
I mean, it's probably really amazing, but my first thoughts of that are not good thoughts. But that's just where my head goes. But I'm sure once
I guess as someone who, like, I just feel, sense everything like at a higher level, and any opportunity that I have to take out sensory input.
Yeah.
It feels so good to me. So, I want to do a silent retreat, and now I want to do this dark retreat. And
I will not be joining you on the dark retreat, but you go have fun with that. I'll join you on other retreats, but not that retreat.
Okay. Well, we're going to have our own retreat this weekend, so it'll be awesome.
Ooh, wait, I want to know about this.
You're always welcome to join anytime. We'll fill you in later. Okay.
So we need to wrap up. This was awesome.
All right. Thank you, Sandy, so much. And I will definitely, for those of you that are watching it while it's happening live, or if you catch it on the replay, I'm going to put in the comments a link to Sandy's website and how you can check out what she does there at OsteoStrong, because I'm telling you, it is incredible what they're doing. And what I love about it is it's fast. Like, you don't have to be there long. A session is what, 15 minutes?
It takes 15 minutes, and you only come once a week.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks so much for listening to our show today. If you enjoyed what you heard, please subscribe so you can get the support you need in becoming the goddess you are meant to be. Check out the show notes for information on how to connect with Allyson or Julietta, as well as for links to resources mentioned in the show. Have a magical day.
All right, girl. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you guys in person soon.
I know, right?
Bye-bye. Take care.
Have a magical day, everyone.
Thank you.